Okay. Hop on here for a little stream for a second. Dang it. Hold on. Yo, what's good, everybody? I hope everybody's having a good day today. My name is Michael. What's going on? What's going on? Let me really quickly. Pull up the stream. What the heck is going on? Cool. Nice. There we go. Okay, we should be good. Let me check voice. All right, we're good. We're talking. Hello, 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 hello. Cool. So, thank you, everybody, for being here today. we're going to be just in a different setup here. I'm visiting my my lady friend today at her place. I'm away from my normal setup. I'll be back in my normal setup tomorrow, though. So that will be good. But I'm going really quickly here. Change the CSS on this chat. There we go. Hey, what's up, Shree? Hey, Flacco. How's it going, you guys? Welcome, you guys. Welcome, welcome. Okay, you guys. Welcome back in today. So I've been doing some work here, you guys. I have been doing some work. As you can see, we have stuff on the page, which is really cool. I'm pretty stoked that we were able to get this far. Let me just really quickly see if I can start the Twitch, and if we start to lag, then I might have to turn it off, but we'll try it. Let's give it a go here. 44, 94, 87, 92, 87. Yeah, we're dropping some frames. Okay, we'll have to, Wi-Fi is not fast enough here to do a multi-stream, so sorry about the Twitch today, guys, but we'll be back on our normal setup tomorrow to get a normal stream. But apologies, I wasn't here the last 2 days. I am kind of feeling pretty guilty that I didn't stream, as I really felt I should have been streaming. I honestly, I took the day off work Friday, kind of as like a recharge day, just to kind of keep myself charged up and going. And every 3 or 4 weeks, I'll take like a Friday off or a Monday off just to have a shorter week to recharge. Kind of helps avoid that burnout. And so I honestly, I slept all day on Friday, played some games. I should have hopped on for a stream, to be honest, but I didn't. I was just being a little bit lazy. But we are back nonetheless. So, and I didn't stream yesterday. Well, that was yesterday, yes, because today's Saturday. Anyways, we're back. So I've been doing some work. I've actually been coding here. I wasn't sure if I was going to even stream today, but I decided, let's do it. Because I've been sitting here for the past about hour and a half, actually, coding, working on the project. I've been working on the project, but I have I've been working on the project, but I wasn't streaming, so I thought maybe let's just throw on the stream and see what we can do here. Let me go ahead and... The difficult part about streaming on the MacBook is that the it's a little bit cut off. There's just you get some black bars, unfortunately, due to the size of my laptop is not the same output. So I want to know what people do. I don't want to stretch. I don't want to, I mean, it's not terrible if we stretch a little bit, but what do you guys think? How do you guys feel about the stretch? How does it look in terms of code? Does it look pretty bad? Yo, what's going on, Overdue RG? How you doing, my boy? Welcome back in. Overdue. You the man. I guess it's fine. I mean, we'll have to make do with what we got. Right? Okay. Cool. So, this is what we have so far. So I've been working on this for the past about hour, and I wanted to give you guys a little update on where I got so far. So last time we left off on just statically loading and importing a product image into the product card and then populating it that way, rather than doing it dynamically via a endpoint for our backend. So what I did was I went into our main. I made it a main.py file here within our server. Right within server, within our app, I made a main.py file, which is going to be our fast API endpoints final. Stretch might throw off chat when they see your UI. Yeah, the stretch will have to do for now. It's okay. If the stretch is unbearable, let me know. But I'm on my MacBook, and the difficult part about a MacBook is that it doesn't have the same 1440 resolution. Like, it has a different custom resolution than OBS output, so it's a little bit tricky. I'll have to do some research on exactly how they do it. Okay. Okay, like that. Okay, so what I did was, you guys, is Fast API is really easy. Oh, hold on. Get the call. Hello? I am on stream. I'll see you when you get here. As my second monitor yet, but okay. Jeez, I feel like I'm nervous. I'm gonna like leak something on accident because I'm like not in my normal setup, so I'm like nervous that something's gonna get leaked. Not that I have anything to leak, but I'm just a little nervous. I'm trying to make sure everything's okay. Cool. Hey, what's going on, Astro? Hey, Slow, how's you doing, my boy? Welcome back in, Slow. It's awesome to hear from you again. Okay, so I went ahead and I added cores into our Fast API setup just so we can set up multiple page routes, right, or allow for multiple routing via localhost or whatever. And then we just set up a quick Fast API call with pathlib and JSON, and then made a simple just endpoint here for get the /products endpoint. So the URL for /products within our local host here will submit and send this data point, these data. So we open up our data file, data/database.json, and then we convert and return the list of data.values to the front end. And so to show you guys that's working here is if I this right here is my endpoint I'm pinging right now, so my local host, and then the endpoint here, I'm pinging it, right? And it's sending me the data here. So as you can see, we're getting the data. Woo! Looks really good. Okay, so we're getting the data, which is really nice. And then, so now that was probably honestly one of the harder parts about figuring out what to do next. So now that we have the data actually, coming from our backend to our front end, what I can do is what I did was I went to my product card page, and what I did was I used, or I went to my product grid, right, and I had to use effect and use state here. And so what I did was I have a use state function here to just set the products, right, a variable. So you have to you have a variable of products, which is kind of this state variable, right? Now it can be refreshed in the DOM or whatever, or however that works in React. And so when we do that request, we just override this variable products with what we receive from that endpoint. So we that's what we do, or that's for the use effect. I'm sorry, right? Now we have. For products. And then we have this use effect, which actually does this fetch for this request here, then takes the result and converts it to JSON, then takes the data, right, and sets products to that data product array. I had to get a little bit of help here as I'm not that familiar with JavaScript. So if the JSON is a dictionary of dictionaries, we convert it to an array right here. But we are sending it as an array in our endpoint, so either way, it works. So kind of overkill, but I guess it's okay. And then we just use state variable, that function, set products, to update that variable for the product array. And then if there's any error, we catch it, right? And then so what we do is we return a mapping of the product cards, right? So we just map the product to its index, product in its index, we extract out the pricing, right? And then we create a product card for every product map, basically, kind of like an iteration over the list almost, right? But it just, rather than going one by one, it just assigns each of them a mapping of this kind of product card outlook, right? And so then on the products page, or on the right, we just are creating the product grid. On my product card itself, what I went ahead and did was I added in just props, right? Rather than the static image, I added in the props, and then I just fed in the props to the sources. And then what I went ahead and did was I added in this hover effect. I did have to get a little help with this hover effect for transitioning the image into a secondary image on a hover. So when you do a hover here, now you see this primary image, but then when you hover, you get this slight zoom, and the secondary image populates. So kind of a cool little effect. It kind of has that Depop feel. Right? Now, what's up, Shri? How's it going? Now, the thing is we do have this little bit of like a flash going on. Why is there like a flash? So flex column, background white, shadow. Shadow gray. There's like this little like flash effect almost. I think it takes place during this transition of opacity to 0. Because the first image is going from opacity 100 to opacity 0 with a duration. And then the second image is going from opacity 0 to opacity 100 with a duration. So I think it's that like that fade in and out is creating kind of this flash effect, which increasing the duration definitely helped kind of reduce it. But I like this hover we have going on here. The website's not live yet. This is for Birdie Rose Clothes. This is our so me and my girlfriend, we own and run a vintage reselling site. Where we don't like the word reselling, more like rehoming, as we typically like to provide our customers with very good pricing, good margins. We don't typically like to fall into those like reseller ripoff models, and we just like to provide customers with good vintage clothing at a good rate to help the environment and to provide customers with good clothing. As we both have a passion for, both like vintage clothes. Cool. So that's a pretty good effect here. So there is like this flash effect going on. I'm going to take my image here. I'm going to say, I am getting a little like flash effect on the opacity. That's a little flash happens because both images have a border and rounded 2 pixels applied directly to the image, which means the border browser has to composite the border plus image at the same time. Simplest fix is apply the border and rounding the container and let the images fill the container. So we would go relative, rounded border, neutral 300 on the outside, like such. There we go. That looks good. Now let me increase this border 2. Let me go border 1.5 pixels. What if I do like 5 pixels? Yeah, that's big drama. Okay. Is there a way to crossfade simultaneously instead of one fading out and the other fades in? Yeah, that's another thing, right? Is right now it's just one in and out with a kind of, well, I think maybe this, I think this transition opacity effect does the transition. Or maybe it's like an easy ease type of thing. Like, have you ever worked with like After Effects or editing software like easy ease, how you can like ease keyframes in kind of like with a like an exponential, like kind of like a parabolic function, if that makes any sense. Like it speeds up and then slows down and then speeds up, or something like that. So if you say border, let's go 1.5 pixels. Let's go 2 pixels. Yeah, let's do border 2 pixels. Let's do neutral 200. Right, to give it a little bit of that emboss feel. Maybe even more. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Let's check. Does the opacity transition do a crossfade, or is it linear? Right now it's linear opacity change. The default easy for Tailwind's transition is linear, so top images fades out while the bottom fades in. If you want a smoother crossfade, you can apply an ease in, out, ease on both images. So you can do object cover opacity, transition opacity, duration 300, ease in, out on the second one. Okay, so ease in, out. So we do ease in, out as well here. Oh, that's smooth. That's smooth. Then let's maybe reduce this a little bit faster on that initial. If you make it like really fast, like 10, right? Boom, instant. Yeah, so maybe I like it a little bit slower. Let's do that 200 again. Nice. I feel like there's still that kind of flash effect, no? How's that look? Crossfade both images, border absolute, both images are absolute, inset 0. You want the crossfade to feel even more seamless, you can match the durations of both so they fade perfectly together. Okay, so if you do split, if you just split it and then match it, it'll crossfade perfectly. Ooh, that looks good. Good suggestion, my boy. Slow. Good suggestion, my guy. Shout out Slow for the crossfade idea. If you guys have any ideas for potential stylings we could do for this, let me know. So we're trying to create kind of like a now don't mind the text, right? We're going to change the fonts and stuff, but just for right now, We have a secondary image that will load. We have this kind of embossed border across the image as well, which looks really nice. We have an overall kind of Polaroid card, which looks really good. We have a automatically loading in using use effect and use a state the products and their images from the database, and then loading in their information onto the page here, which is really nice. Sweet. That looks good. Hey Cyrus, how's it going, my boy? I'm trying to learn Flutter. I'm a beginner in coding. Where should I start from? Hey dude, I've never heard of Flutter. What is Flutter? Let me look it up. Flutter coding. Is it open source UI software development kit created by Google? Huh. Cool. Yeah, I have a Discord link down below in the description of my video if you would like to get access to entire roadmap of my learning journey so far. I have it all in there. Or you could guys get access, yeah, and check that out. I started with Harvard CS50P, Python crash course, and have been kind of mastering, kind of getting a more expertise mastery level in Python before transitioning into like other languages and such. Yeah, I have a degree in human biology and a minor in chemistry, so I work as a formulation chemist or professionally as a 9 to 5. So I thought I started with Python originally because it kind of was the best of both worlds in terms of like data science, data analysis, and kind of transitioning and incorporating my current knowledge into programming and stuff. But we've been transitioning into learning things like React, Tailwind. Hopefully, I want to like get a deeper knowledge of C and build some like more low-level programs and stuff like that would be cool. For app dev, I don't know. I've been, like I said, I'm a data scientist or a physical scientist that uses a lot of like data science and analysis, and so I've been doing mainly Python and that kind of science-based backgrounds and stuff. But does anybody have any suggestions for our boy Cyrus in here? Tailwind, CSS, Swift, I heard is probably good for app stuff. Okay, let's push here. Add backend endpoint. Add backend main.py linked product slash products. All right, pushing that up. Hey yo, hold up. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Streaming. If you don't want to be on cam, then don't come by.
I don't mind the camera.
It's up to you. If you want to keep your privacy, Good. How good is your DSA? We're all right. We've been reading, we read Data Structures and Algorithms into Python up to chapter 11. We've also read and are reading Introductions to Algorithms by CLRS. And so we're getting some familiarity and definitely getting some review. We've solved over 100 and probably 10 leak code problems so far, but definitely needing a lot more practice going through, especially things like recursion, yada, 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 trees, linked lists, stuff like that. Hey, how's it going, Appy? For a beginner, I always suggest Python. That's how I learned. Unless you're in a university setting, then maybe any language would work. That's good advice, though. Yeah, Python's great for the English kind of easiness of it. Hey, check this out. Check this out, Gina. Hey, Miss G. Check this out.
Wow.
it's like coming together. I'm just building like little features, like Legos, and then putting it all together, like little by little. And so this is the product page, and I started off with an individual product card, and so you can hover it and transition to the other photo.
Sorry. I don't want it to overflow. I always
Forget. Is my mic on? Yeah, good. Hey, what's up, Divert? He wants me to introduce you.
Introduce me.
Yeah, I do. I usually keep them private though, because you haven't given me permission to like say hello.
I give you permission.
Want to come up? The camera's right here. I'm on my phone. This is my girlfriend Jean. This is Birdie Rose Clothes.
Hi.
She'd never been on stream before.
Never. It's my debut.
Yeah, so you can look. You can. So right now I have the product information being fetched from our backend, like our server. So this is like all of the individual products and their information, just the first 6, and then it's being projected onto the page here, and then creating these components. And so I don't have anything crazy going on right now. I'm just kind of designing, but you can hover and it shows like a nice transition to like the secondary image, right? And then I'm gonna have this text is just default text. So I'll change it up, but I'm gonna have like I want to do like your handwriting as like the font. So like we'll create a custom font as like your own handwriting. Would be kind of cool, I think. And then like if it's available or on sale, maybe having a little like sticker in the corner being like sale or sold or available or new or something like that. And then when you click on it, either it would go straight to the Depop to that item, or it would go to like that specific product page, and then you could go to the Depop. So probably would just go to the Depop from there.
Wow.
But yeah, so like you can transition into like these different. You can see them, and yeah,
That's really cool.
pretty cool so far.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
It's going good so far. Yo, what's up, Josh? She also no, she's a professional dancer.
I just had a show.
She just had a show. She just got back from her like a fundraiser show for like the Habitat for Humanity, kind of like a nonprofit organization. Okay, cool. So we've got a product card then that successfully transitions from the first primary image to the secondary image. And then we are getting all the information. So now is the time where we try to like, I guess, do we start to like build the page itself for products? Oh boy, like building websites is pretty hard. There's so many things you have to do. Okay, so we definitely need like a nav bar, right? Probably to go between different pages. We need, obviously just better page styles. Yeah. Any of you guys do web dev out there? It's kind of a pretty daunting project. Okay. Cool. I've said that a lot. All right, what's next? What is next? What's next? What do you guys think? How many people we got in here? $31. Wow. Thank you guys so much. If you guys are here and enjoying the stream, if you guys could throw a like on it. I appreciate you guys so much for being here. We got 31 folks in here. Cool. Okay, what's next? What do you guys think we should tackle next? We've got the products here listed out. What else? What's next? We've got a transition. I completed like 60% of React. That's me right now. I for real. I watched about half of the bro code video, got up to about the hooks part, and then I bounced out after that. I feel you. Okay. I don't really know what to do. Should we? What do you guys think's next? I'm sure lots of things I was learning is outdated by now with how fast the JavaScript world moves. Yeah, it seems like there's a new thing every week or something that comes out. What's up, Gemma? Appreciate you for coming in. Okay. Well, honestly, I don't even really know where to go from here. We've got products on the page. Now, if you click on a product, do we want that to be something? I think we want it to route it to the Depop product. So if we would go, if we look at our database that got served, right? The slug is here. So we need to write another endpoint here for, no, let's say, yeah, product grid, okay. No, product card. So if you on click, right, on click of the product, so how do you route, oh, href, right? So it would be, okay, so in the div for the product card, if we have an on click function, could we route using href? Routing on click okay, so if we go use history, from React router, to a new site. Right, so you use an anchor tag with an href. Oh, so you would wrap the div in the anchor. Oh. Interesting. So you take the whole div itself and wrap it into an anchor tag. Like so. And then we could do href here, or on, yeah, href, right? We'll say how can I do
I think it's really good. It's like a sparkling.
light sheaf? Oh, thank you. href. So if we want to insert some like a formatted string here to do like https colon //. So if we do birdie, let's close. Let's go to the product here. Let's take the slug. So it'd be https www.depop.com/products/ now here's the slug. So okay, so it's just /products and then the slug. So do you do this? How do you do it in Java? In props.slug. Okay, so you do. Okay, you wrap it all in the brackets. Like such, and then you do $, bracket, like such. Okay, there we go. So now if we go here, refresh. Uh-oh. href is not defined at product card. Uncaught reference. href is not defined at product card. What's up, Anas? Appreciate you coming in. Yeah, we're working on the product details page right now. Hey, what's up, Gamma? Thank you so much for subbing. I'm 12 and I want to learn React. Yeah, dude, learn React. I'm learning it right now live, so learn it right here with me. Get some practice. What kind of work are you doing with this? We're building a product page for our site. We're transitioning kind of a vintage reselling store into kind of a more tech-based platform. How's it going, Medba? Why are we getting this error? Anchor is not defined. What? Where's the console? Uncaught element. Not defined a product card. What's up, Beckham? So if those that are new, my name is Michael. I'm 26 years old. I have a degree in human biology and a minor in chemistry, and I work as a formulation chemist for a biotech company. I've been teaching myself how to code pretty much daily, every single day for the past year and a half. We built quite a few things. You can check out stuff on my site, michaeldeming.com, from full stack spectroscopy websites, chromatography simulations, spectroscopy simulations that I did in undergraduate chemistry courses, kind of recreating those undergraduate laboratories into physical or web-based platforms. We've done personal websites. We've built small business manager tools. We've built automated accounting tools, stock option stock option, like um, Black-Scholes model visualizers, things like that. So and now we're building a site here for my business, but we're getting some errors here. Leak GTA 6 source. Yeah, this is the leak for real. So we're getting some error here. What is this? We accidentally used backticks incorrectly. Cool, it should be like this. So if we remove the JavaScript on the outside. The correct way. What's going on? Oh, do I have to have words here? No. Huh. I'm confused. So we have slug right here, which we are accessing. Anyone know why we're having some problems here? Why we're getting issues with the slug? Inspect. Console. href is not defined at product card. Use curly braces. Use backticks only inside the braces for template literals. Or if I'm using a variable, props.slug. I don't get it. Why is this giving me issues then? Uncaught reference error. href is not defined. You accidentally use backticks outside of JavaScript curly braces. Use link. Oh, that's right. Uh, forgot how to do it, man. Yeah, I think he needs href equals quote link. Href is not an attribute, it's a variable. No braces. Link. Where's the, how do you, what is it? Why do I suck? React link instead of anchor. Import link from React router DOM. Oh, I don't have React router DOM installed. I don't think I have React router DOM installed. CD client CD VRC React app npm install React router DOM. Okay, now I go import link. Oh. Am I trolling, dude? I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, installed React router DOM. So if we say oh, we say link here. This. Closing tag. Ugh, I suck. Hold on, let me just do. I'm really bad at React JavaScript. Href is still not defined? Bruh. I don't know how to do this. Let's do this. Link. Ah, dang it. No, it's not live. We're on local. We're building it right now. So let's say link. Let me go React router DOM. So there's a 2. And I don't know what to do here. I need to turn off this auto sleep. Settings, accessibility, displays. Okay, there we go. Link, home link to. Okay, so if we say here, that just opens up a link. Oh, that's open there. So we say 2. Oh, that would make sense. Okay, so let's go back. I didn't see that line. Thank you for bringing that up. Get rid of this one. So that's still. Create the component. Refresh. Cannot disregard base name react is null. href. Do I need to do this? No. I am really bad at JavaScript. I'm a Python boy. Trying to update the value of href, which isn't defined anywhere. So we just need to have a variable. Create a variable. Okay, so let's create a variable. Let's say slug product slug is equal to this, right? Oh. How can you do this? Man, I really don't know. I'm trolling here. The href is going to equal to prod slug here, right? But we need to define product slug. So let me look up React router DOM link. Import linked to dashboard. Link to path name search hash. Partial path. So then if you're going to use it to go to the HTML, render, prefetch, discover, summary. Link it to, say, to product slug. me say HTTPS. What's wrong with this variable? It's invalid. You can't type a template outside JavaScript like that. No burly braces needed. So the main mistake is putting the bracket around the template when assigning a variable. I'm confused. I'm so confused for some reason. We have the link here. Right, okay. Now prod slug, props.slug. Okay, so now what if I just take this variable? Let's get rid of this. Let's just take this, put it inside of here. Like this. Dang it. I suck. Trying to use link from React Router down with the full external URL. Link is only for internal routing with React app. It does not work with external URLs. Okay, so we just need to use an anchor tag. And then here we go. That took a long time, geez Louise. So now if we go here and get out of this, geez. And we're not going. No! Okay, so we're not routing. Maybe I should say on click, go to that route, right? Is that what I should say? So an anchor tag with a link and a target blank. Is it underscore blank? Yeah, underscore blank. href, href. Products. So slash birdie rose close slash yellow. So if we go here, product slash undefined. Okay, so then the slug is undefined here. Interesting. Why isn't it pulling from my slug here? Let's go console.log and we'll do props dot slug. Oh, I'm not passing in the slug, that's why. So let's go back to the product grid and let's pass in slug equals product dot slug. Yes! Yes! All right, that took a long time. Whew. Okay, cool, we got it. Wow. Sorry, I'm a little unorganized here. I'm not in my normal setup back at home. I'm visiting my lady friend at her place right now, and so I'm just on my laptop here. I'm not at my normal desk, so I'm doing my best with one screen. What's going on, Unique? How's it going? Thank you, Medba. Thank you, Tom, Slow, Unique, for the advice there. Glad we could work through that together. Yes. Look at that. Okay, cool. So now, so the whole point of this project is that we have a web scraper, right? We wrote this web scraper. We wrote this web scraper here in scripts, Depop scrape. This web scraper will scrape the product, our Depop page, for all of the product information. And so that's all of this here, right? Just for the first 6, because I'm having it only for the first 6 for testing. So we get all the product information, and now what we're going to do is take the Depop page and basically recreate it one-to-one onto our page. And then rather than having checkout and carts and payments, Stripe on our page, we don't need to do all that, or shipping. We can let Depop do all that where we're currently hosting the items and just feed people to the Depop via that route, right? So now we can, if the user clicks on this, it'll just feed them to that Depop page to go ahead and do the checkout, right? We don't need to, handle the checkouts on our page if it's already being taken care of. Now this is $19, right? And let's see, what's it listed on Depop? $19, good. So we're getting the correct price. Then this is the price including fees. So that's the price that we should probably list it as, right? So this is final price key amount plus fees, buyer fee. Okay, so if we go product card, if we say product grid, if we say right, this is the final key, final price key, final price is the pricing by the final key amount, const final or price fee equals to product dot pricing key of fees, buyer fee, buyer fee, and then what we'll do is we'll do final price equals this plus price fee. Undefined buyer fee. Dot pricing be dot pricing dot final key dot fees. There we go. Nice. Now we're getting there we go. Yes. Okay, so then can we round this value? Is there a round function? Rounding in JavaScript. Math.round. And then we can say two decimal. Multiply the number 100 to shift the decimal point 2 places to the right. Two fixed. Huh. Or put an asterisk somewhere like depot fees not included because whole dollar amounts fits in the Polaroid. 5 more. Or only show the final price when you download the card. Some good ideas. Hey, Unsolved, how's it going, my guy? So final price. Round to 2 decimal in JavaScript. Two fixed. Const price. Price fee plus final price. There we go. How's it going, Alan? Thanks for joining me. I'm from United States. Yeah, West Coast. Cool. All right, so that's awesome. So now what we did is we have product cards, which are kind of this Polaroid feel. We have the ability. We are successfully routing our database information and as an endpoint, and putting that to the front end with routing it to the front end with a get, and then we have a successful hover for doing a transition to the secondary image, as well as the correct pricing for the fees included to make up the depop. And then if you click on the items, you get taken to that page. So 2065, as you can see, for this item, and it's right there. Now, we don't have the correct titles and stuff yet, but we'll get there. Nice. That looks really, 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 really good. Okay, I'm happy with that so far. Cool. That was a pretty successful little work sesh here. What do you guys think? What do you guys think so far? How do you guys like it? Anyone know what that thing is where he looked up RL like Spotlight? Yeah, so this is just this is the if you have the ChatGPT app on iOS or Windows, if you press Option Space, or I think it's Alt Space on Windows, if there's a setting in the ChatGPT where you can enable like a Spotlight hotkey to do a quick search like this, it's really helpful. But yeah, so thank you guys for bearing with me here as I'm trying to teach myself and learn JavaScript and React. On this channel, we learn and been teaching ourselves religiously for the past year and a half Python, trying to get a more intermediate, advanced knowledge of Python, building things like options, stock options, visualizers, computing like Black-Scholes models, doing spectroscopy like SpectroSim stuff. Right, this is our other site we built with the backend on with Fast API and Python. You can look up stuff with on PubChem database. It's just hosted with render.com, so it's pretty slow on that first response because it's a free tier. But then yeah, we've done that. We got quite a bit of cool stuff here. Looks nice so far, Slow says. Yes, I think it looks really good so far. Did you quit biochemistry and start? No, so I have a degree in human biology and a minor in chemistry, and I work as a formulation chemist for a biotech company, 9 to 5. So I got a job after college back in 2021. Kind of at the end of those hiring frenzies at the end of COVID. So I got lucky, thank goodness. I was able to squeak into some work at the end of 2021 after I graduated. And I've been, working in, I've kind of actually transitioned my role into formulation chemistry and convinced my job to actually allow me to code at work because I've been building some proprietary tools using linear programming for automating and formulating kind of theoretical yields to predict concentration values for serum blends using matrices. So it sounds pretty complex, and it is pretty complex. But actually, I got some good news on that. We've been last Thursday, a couple days ago, I met with people and we did a coding session. And I met with another team to help out with linear programming. And we were able to implement an algorithm to actually formulate and produce a working key for this matrix. So it's really cool. It should be a huge cost savings, quality savings for the company, and a huge boost in my career. Like this should honestly, I think I probably will get promoted off of this. Just this one thing, which is pretty crazy. Basically, like think about it like this: if you have a bunch of different serums of different batches, right? You want to know what blend of them together would hit a suite of ranges for like protein, cholesterol, all these different elements, and you need to know what ratio to blend them in to hit this suite of elements. And so this algorithm basically figures out, in using linear programming, what ratios to add them in volume amounts, and then gives that back to you and has it for the most optimized amount. Hey Amont, how's it going? How would you go about learning backend dev? I'm trying to learn myself. Yeah, me too. That's exactly what we're doing right now. So I'm teaching myself kind of backend, front end, full stack dev here, as I've been teaching myself Python mainly. I have a pretty kind of intermediate, not advanced, but I'd say intermediate level of Python knowledge. I can write scripts like this from scratch, right? When in terms of when I ask AI for help, you guys will see how I prompt when I do. I'll be like please don't show me code, but let's go over blah 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 blah, like in Python, and then I'll use like words to actually build and break things down that way. It's way easier, and then it helps you learn more that way too, rather than having things just get done for you. So yeah, we have this script that takes up all of our Depop items, and then we are projecting them to the page here, which is really nice as well. I want to be the best vibe coder. We don't really vibe code here. Sorry, dude. We build things on our own. We use AI to help us learn, but we don't let the AI build anything. What's up, Isaac Newton? Where can I learn Python, Yash? Yeah, take a peek at my Discord link down below in my description where you can access an entire roadmap of my learning journey so far. You can get access to every book, course. I've taken CS50P, Introductions to Algorithms, Data Structures and Algorithms in Python, Fluent Python. All those stuff is in my Discord for free for you guys. Any reason why Python? I'm learning Node.js, doesn't matter the language. I learned Python just because A, it was a good language to get introduced with, and B, because I have a background in physical chemistry and science, I thought Python would be a great starting point to use like its modules and packages to do data science and stuff like that. So it helped, and it did help, as you can see with our Spectro sim. Right, we wrote the back end of this in Python. Right, where you can we wrote the back end in Python where it accesses PubChem compounds and in its API, and then projects its spectroscopy simulation. So caffeine has a description here, then spectral data, and then you can generate its absorption sim, and this is its absorption spectroscopy, which is a way of detecting absorptions of light sources as you pass through a solution. And so, yeah, this is using Plotly.js to render on the front end, but we're doing the algorithm using Gaussian distribution on the back end in Python. And so you can look up a bunch of compounds on any compound within PubChem database that's supported via the spectroscopy you can look up, which is pretty cool. What else is there? I don't think sodium is one of them. Yeah, see, there's no thing for sodium. But you can do like caffeine. Only some of the compounds have the specific data that we're looking to parse out, right? And then you plot it. So this is a cool site we made. We also made chromaplot.com. This one's completely hosted on render.com, so it's pretty slow. Render.com's free tier is pretty brutal. Yo, come on. Render.com is so brutal. There we go. So on this one, you can plug in a bunch of compound names and retention factors, right? Between 0 and 1, and you can run the simulation, and it's pretty slow because it's using render.com, like I said. But it'll generate the plot here, and you can see the chromatography simulation that you would visualize in your undergrad in chemistry, which is pretty cool. I'll just let this load for a second here. But this black bar on the left here is the 100% retention. So this is like the mobile phase, kind of mimicking as it travels through the medium, the solid phase. And then these compounds, right, have this clumping to kind of mimic a liquid. And these retention factors are scaled off of this main run right here. So it can, it'll travel, right? I'll show you guys that when it loads up here. This render doc is so brutal. Render is so brutal. Are you building an e-commerce site right now? Yeah. So me and my girlfriend, we own and operate Birdie Rose Clothes, which is a vintage reselling store for a bunch of cool vintage clothing, mainly women's clothing right now, but we're transitioning into unisex. And we are trying to develop a site to feed customers into the Depop. Depop's search engine optimization and results is pretty bad. So I wanted to create a site to help feed people into that, and so we don't need to do the checkout or carting on our own. We can do that on the Depop because they handle all the shipping and stuff, but we can have a site be kind of like the middleman and feed people to it. So that's kind of like this right now. That's what we're building right now. So we kind of have a cool like Polaroid kind of a card here, which looks kind of nice. And then you can click and view the go to the Depop page. Oh, here you go. So as you can see, there it goes. See, you have the solvent running up at 100% speed, and then based on the retention factor of these various compounds, they travel up at those speeds. So as you can see, the fastest compound is compound 5, and it's traveling up the fastest speed up the page here, which is really cool. And so what you would do with this in like your undergrad is that you would have like an unknown compound, and you would identify it at the end of the simulation based on how the travel distance, like the similar travel distance, and you would calculate these retention factors and report those out into your lab instructor, and that's what you'd be graded on. So I literally did this lab in my undergraduate chemistry courses, and you solve for an unknown by computing the retention factors. But we just did the inverse by having you plug in the retention factors to do a simulation, and so it's pretty cool. So we've got quite a few, like, honestly, we've got quite a few projects for the small time we've been coding, the 1.5 years we've been coding so far. We've got over 6 or 7 projects. I've got SpectroSim on here, but I also have my Better Options project I don't have on here. I've got that one, right? That was a script to automatically compute the Black-Scholes model for a given options chain of a given ticker stock symbol using Yahoo Finance, which is a pretty cool project. But yeah, and we've got this site itself, which is a pretty cool project we built in React. Yeah, so lots going on here. How did you get into your contracting work? Regarding to contracting work, are you talking about my full-time job? If that's what you're referring to, or if you're talking about web dev, this is all just for learning and fun. This is all independent. But in terms of my professional job, I have a degree in human biology and a minor in chemistry, and I just applied mass places back in 2021 at the end of college, and I got lucky. All right, you guys. I think we're probably going to come and get close to wrapping it up for today. It was a little bit of a shorter one. I know we're kind of in our not normal setup. We'll be back in our normal setup tomorrow on our desk, so we'll be able to be a little bit more productive. But we were pretty successful actually and able to get the secondary images up, the routes to the page, as well as cleaning up just the overall style of the page and the product cards themselves, and syncing up the back-end endpoint to the front end. So we got a lot done actually in this kind of 1.5 hours, 2 hours or so that we've been working here. So anyways, I really, really appreciate everybody being here and hanging out with me. If you guys enjoyed the stream, please consider leaving a thumbs up and subscribing. I stream every single day after my 9-to-5 job, teaching myself Python and computer science and programming, building full stack websites now, and transitioning into learning about lower level programming and algorithms and things like that. So if you guys are interested in hanging out with me on a daily basis, please consider subscribing to the channel, as I build projects like this live every day, completely transparent. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for being here. Tomorrow we will continue on with our project, probably setting up some more stylings of the page, and then figuring out some other style. Honestly, it's kind of it's up to us really to be creative here and start building. So anywho, thank you guys so much for being here today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let me see if there was any. Let me quickly just hide my screen, just in case. See if there's any subs that I missed that I can shout out here. Dashboard. Recent events. Tony Olson, thanks so much for the sub, my guy. I like the Twitch alerts, the sub alerts. If you guys aren't subscribed, please, if you guys would, I'd really appreciate it. We build stuff every single day. Cool. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks. Hey, Rector. Protector, how's it going? Sorry, dude. Yeah, we're ending. You missed it today, but we'll be back tomorrow, my guy. Thanks so much for being here. All right, guys. I'm out for today. Oh, I forgot to actually get the Oh, there we go. Yeah, it was on. Okay. Cool. I'll see you guys later.